fam and friends. I hope you're all doing well today and that you're having a great start to your new year. 2023 is here, it's upon us, and it's such a great time. I love this tradition of the new year starting new goals and new resolutions just because I feel like it's a great time for you to really sit down and reflect. And even if you're not somebody who likes to set goals for the new year because of the stigma of everyone never following through with their New Year's resolutions, I really feel like it's a great time to just reflect on your past year and also look towards the future and see what you can do to improve yourself and to provide growth in your life. So I really enjoy doing New Year's resolutions and setting intentions for the year because I feel like it's just a great way for me to try to shape my future, even though the future is always out of my hands. I can never control it, but to be able to do some things that I've been looking forward to and I feel like can help grow me are always a great self-growth activity for me to do. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys my goals, dreams, and intentions for this new year. And I'm also going to share with you guys some tips and tricks that I do to keep my goals and intentions throughout the year. I really do feel like I get a lot of my goals accomplished because of these things that I do. So I'm going to go ahead and share those with you guys as well. But yeah, I'm really excited to spend all of this time with you. So first off, I'm going to start with a quote that I found on Pinterest. I love finding inspirational quotes, and I just think that they are a great way to help motivate you. But this one is by Morgan Harper Nichols. It's on my computer here, and it's called In Between. In between where you are and where you want to be, there is endless, boundless peace. There is an opportunity to be still as you find yourself in the gap between the past and the future, knowing that this is the space where you are called to come alive. And it's okay if you feel uncertain here. You don't have to have it all figured out. You are free to take this moment by moment and see the wholeness of it all. Some things will be difficult, some things will be easier, some things will make sense, while others leave you with questions. But altogether, these mountains and valleys create a landscape where somehow, through it all, everything finds its peace. And I absolutely love this quote. I think it really shows that, even if, you're going through change, mountains, valleys, there's a place where you can find peace, and ultimately it's going to end up where you were supposed to end up. And it's really about what you do to make it and to, set those goals to get there. So that's why I really like that quote for this purpose as well of creating intentions and goals for the new year. And when I start with goals, we're going to go ahead and start with my goals now. I like to put my goals into certain categories, and I actually do write quite a few goals down. I know it's a lofty thing to do to write a lot down, but I try to write quite a few goals down, but I section them off into categories. And the categories that I have for this year are personal, work, and spiritual. You can do whatever categories you want. My church actually does categories they're more geared towards youth, but I feel like anybody can do them, but it's spiritual, social, physical, and intellectual. So those are great goals, if you want categories, but you can really do any category you want. Just find a category or categories, and then you can put your goals underneath them. And I feel like it just helps me because I can focus on those aspects of my life, and you can pick any category you want. You don't have to put them in categories, but I just feel like categories, I'm saying the word categories so much right now. Categories just really help in my mind, just organize it all better. So then I can kind of focus on those aspects individually, but also as a whole. So I'm going to start off with my spiritual category. My spiritual category always kind of varies, especially throughout the year as well. But for my first one, I want to just have some scripture study improvement. I love to read my scriptures, but I definitely need to improve on those a little bit. And I have a lot of resources through my church, through the internet, through friends, family. And so I think one thing I want to do is just really work on my quality of scripture study, trying to get into a really good regular habit of reading it every day. I feel like I go through, phases where I'm reading it, reading scriptures every day for however long. And then I'll go through phases where it's I can barely get a couple verses out each day. So, and I need to, it's going to be okay if I'm doing that, but I want to try to get on a more regular schedule and just find deeper meaning in my scripture study. And I made a goal last year to try to read the entire Old Testament in the year because that's the book of scripture that my church was studying. And I did not make the whole. I made about, 3/4 of the way through the Old Testament. So I want to finish that as well this year. It's not going to necessarily be a goal on my list of goals, but I do want to finish the Old Testament this year. just so that way I can say that I did it, even if it took me over a whole year. Another spiritual goal is to improve my prayer and personal relationship with God. This again goes with the scripture study thing. I feel like I do pray and, but I could do a lot more to make my prayers more meaningful. And there's definitely a lot of resources that I have access to that I can do to improve that. But I definitely just want to make that a big priority in my life every day, is to improve the quality of my prayers and my relationship with God because of my prayers. So that is a good goal that I have for this year, and I'm really excited for that one as well, because I feel like there's going to be a big benefit from me that I get with me doing that goal. And my final spiritual goal of the year, and this isn't like, I can always add in more spiritual goals, and I have other things, but I just didn't want to make them like a New Year's resolution. But one goal that I had last year that I also did not complete, but I am trying to do this year, is I want to visit all the open temples in Utah where I live. If you guys don't know, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which is what I'm a member of, we have temples all over the world. And there's a lot in Utah. And I went to almost every single one in Utah, but there were 3 that I missed. I was not able to go to. And so the temples will kind of close during certain months of the year for cleaning and stuff like that. And so I just wasn't able to get to all of them because I wasn't paying attention to their schedule. So when it was time for me to like crack down and get to all the ones I hadn't gone to, they were all closed. So this year, I really want to make sure that I can get to all of those temples and go inside of them and just do some work in there. And I'm really excited for that one because there's like 17 that are open, I believe, in Utah. So I'm going to try to hit all of them. There's even more being built right now, so who knows what will happen, but I'm going to try to get all of those ones hit. Okay, so next up, I have my work category, and I love doing YouTube, and I feel like YouTube's kind of like a part-time gig for me right now, but I also have a full-time job. So I have goals for both of those. And for YouTube specifically, I definitely want to improve my YouTube channel. I have been having so much fun working on making content for the last couple of months, but I definitely want to improve the quality of my content. I want to get better at editing. I want to make videos that I feel like look really good, are pleasing to watch, and make you guys want to keep watching. So that is one goal that I have, is just to improve my YouTube channel and find new ways to make my content interesting and fun and appealing to those who are watching. And I also want to have a subscriber count goal. So I mentioned this a couple of times. I am trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, which I know is a lofty goal. We need like 880 people to subscribe to my channel in just 12 months, which is quite a bit. But I am hoping that you guys can help me out with that. So if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, go ahead and click that subscribe button down below. But I do want to reach 1,000 subscribers. I think that'd be such a fun goal to reach, and to have all of you guys join my fam with me, and to see my videos, and to have a community on YouTube that we can hang out together with and interact with each other with. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So that is a goal of mine, to try to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I'm also not going to be like too hard on myself if we don't make it, but I'm going to say that we're going to make it. Like I have faith that we can do this. So that is another goal for my YouTube channel. And for work, I really want to find a job that I like really enjoy. I love where I work right now. And so if I can find ways to make that a job where I like really feel passionate about it and I really love it, then that's great. But I also would love to maybe look for other things where I could, really find a place where my passions can like flourish and my skills can be appreciated for what they are. And I feel like I'm like really making a difference in the world. And so I want to kind of go and explore my options there a little bit and see if I can find a place where I like love going to work every day. I think that'd be a great opportunity for me because I am not making any money on YouTube yet. So I would think it would be great one day to maybe fully transition to being a full-time YouTuber if that's in the cards for me one day. But as of right now, I just want to find a job or create a job within my current job where I can really just flourish and enjoy what I do and really feel like I make a difference. So my final category I'm going to share with you guys is my personal category. Now in my personal category, like there's different subcategories of it. I have like a finances section that I'm going to personally just keep to myself. But I always have like a goal of how much money I want to save and things like that. So I think that that's a great way for people. If you have like financial goals, you can kind of put numbers there if you want, but I'm going to just kind of go with my regular personal goals. And these can range all over. I feel like sometimes these can be like kind of superficial, like surface level goals, and that's okay. Like, it's okay to have those types of goals. They don't have to be these like deeply profound, life-changing things. They can be a little bit more surface level, but some of them can also be like really deep and meaningful to you and help really grow you like as a person. So I'm gonna go ahead and share with you guys my personal goals. The first couple are more of like in the health category, and I know I said earlier that like I don't like to set these expectations of like go and work out 3 times a week and all this stuff. But I think it's important to set goals for your health, because health is important. I just think that you shouldn't be too hard on yourself when it comes to stuff like that. So my first goal, for example, is to start working out consistently again. Before I went to Europe back at the end of September, early October, I was going to the gym twice a week, doing like weightlifting and cardio, and then I was also going to yoga once a week, and I was living a very active lifestyle, and I still live a very active lifestyle. In Utah right now, it's like super gross. It's like snowing all the time. It's raining all the time. It's windy, it's cold. And while I love to go out and do skiing and snowshoeing and like sledding, like doing all those activities, I feel like during the wintertime, you're definitely stuck inside a lot more. Whereas like in the summertime, I would go out for walks a lot. And now like I'm not going out for walks very often. I'm staying inside unless I'm like out skiing and stuff. So I want to start getting into a schedule again where I'm like consistently going, and being consistent can mean a lot of different things. I don't have to be doing my old schedule, my old routine. I just want to be consistent at it. So whether it's going to the gym once a week and going to yoga once a week or whatever it is, I just want to be consistent in it so that way I have a routine. So that's my first personal goal, is just to start working out consistently again. And I feel like during the summertime it'll be easier to do that, but during the winter it's definitely hard, but you can do it. So I'm going to start working out consistently again. And I'm also, along those health veins, going to try to cook more vegan and vegetarian meals and foods. I do feel like lately I've been going out to eat quite a bit, which is, it's really hard when you have like a lot of friends who are like, hey, you want to go out to eat real fast? Like, let's just go grab some food. Let's go grab dinner and catch up. Let's go grab lunch. Like, it's really hard to say no to that. But I want to start cooking more foods that are vegetarian and vegan, because that's what I'm trying to kind of follow, is that lifestyle a little bit. So that is a big goal for me, to start to cook more of those meals. And I do have a food account with my mom. We don't post on there very regularly, but I'm going to try to post more on there. It's called Mangoes and Mulberries. I'll link it down below. You guys can follow it. It's on Instagram. Again, we don't post a lot. We aren't high quality. Like, we don't take high quality photos of our food. It's just kind of, here's the food and here's the recipe. But I really enjoy making food for that. So if you guys are interested, you can follow that account. And we try to post mainly vegetarian or vegan meals on there. So yeah, that's a good goal that I have. And I love to go grocery shopping. Like, I do love to cook and to find good vegan and vegetarian meals, but I feel like it can take a long time to find those certain meals. So I'm gonna go ahead and start working on that a little bit more, so I have more of a variety to add into like my weekly rotation. Okay, along that same vein, I wanted to set a goal to declutter my life a little bit and kind of just clean things up. And this goes along with that goal because I really like to try to live as healthy as possible, but also, like, I'm trying to become a little bit more sustainable and find ways to not produce as much waste that goes out into the world. So anything that I can do to help declutter my room and kind of become a little bit more minimal in things that I have, and also with purchases that I'm purchasing, in the future, like, I want to make sure that what I'm purchasing doesn't have like an environmental impact negatively on the world around us. So that is something that I'm trying to do more, is to declutter my life a little bit, do a big clean out of like all of my stuff, get rid of a lot of things. And then also in the future going forward, making sure that what I'm doing is I'm buying things that aren't going to harm the environment. I'm going to try to, do more research and stuff like that. I also got a compost bin for Christmas. So I want to, and this kind of feeds into my next goal with my garden is, I did a garden last year and it wasn't the best, but I'm just, learning. It's baby steps, but I want to have my compost bin so that way I can use my food waste and to use that into growing food for the future. So those are a few things that have to do with the decluttering and cleaning up my life in the health vein, but also one of the goals, and we'll touch on this a little bit later, is for my garden as well. So it kind of all comes together and is a way that I can be a little bit more sustainable and help the environment around me. And so that's a goal that I have as well. Okay, and kind of going into a different realm now, the next goal that I have is traveling. So it's to travel to 2 different countries this upcoming year. So I do have one trip planned. We're going to a different country, but the second trip is kind of TBD. It could go many ways, but I really enjoyed traveling to different countries last year. And so I want to make sure that that's something that I am able to do this year, where I travel to 2 new places, experience the culture and just what the world has to offer, because it's just so fun to be able to go and see new places, new ways of living, different ways of thinking, eating, all of that. So I want to make sure that I try to do that. And I am in this place of life where I am single, so I can kind of just get up and go wherever I want and whenever I want, because I don't have like a family. So I'm going to try to take advantage of that as I can, to be able to go see new places, try new things, and do it in a way that excites me. So I'm really excited to try and go to 2 new countries this year. If I'm lucky, go to more, but I'm gonna try to keep it a little bit more realistic and try to just hit 2 for sure. Okay, and my last goal for the year is to just go ahead and try to explore my passions and my hobbies a little bit more and find out what I really am passionate about and the hobbies that I really do want to cultivate and grow. Some of the hobbies that I wrote down were gardening, so that's where my garden comes in. I really want to work on my garden this year, and I don't have a backyard really at all, so I just have a few little things that I can kind of use to garden with, but I want to just grow a few vegetables for myself this year if possible, and kind of just starting to get in that habit of that. I would love to explore that more and work on gardening a little bit more. And then also sustainability, like I mentioned, I really would love to learn more about things that I can do to help the environment, little changes I can make, purchases that I can purchase instead of like other things. And I've started doing little things like that already. Like I try to use as much as I can reusable shopping bags. I try to buy organically. I try to recycle as much as possible. So just like little things like that I'm trying to do, but I also would like to maybe see what I can do on a bigger scale if possible. So that is another passion of mine. And then the other 2 are kind of a little bit more surface level. So with another passion that I have is my beauty. That kind of sounds a little weird. For example, like hair care. I have really long hair, really thick hair, and right now it's pretty healthy, but I want to see what I can do. Like I want to learn more about my hair care, invest in products that are going to really help enrich my hair and keep it nice, thick, and healthy, and keep it like that for a long time. So some things, kind of a little bit more surface level, like I said, but I want to learn habits and products and tricks and tips to do that, to really help improve the quality of my hair and also my skincare. So I have been very lucky my whole life that I've never had a really big issue with my skin. I've never had really bad acne or anything like that, and I have pretty normal skin, but I would love to learn more about skincare and find, again, products in that skincare routine that really does make my skin feel the best that it can feel. And also with that, like aging is a big thing that, like, even though I'm only, I'm very young, I'm only 25, I want to make sure though that I'm doing what I can to help prevent the aging process, even though everyone ages and it's totally normal and beautiful and wonderful. But I just want to do some things that I can do to make sure that I'm not damaging my skin, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm going to age regardless, but you can do things to help reduce the damage that's being done to your skin. So I just want to kind of invest in these, skincare, hair care, research and knowledge, and learn more about that and see what I can do to really help enrich that part of my life, which I know is very surface level, but it's okay. And the last item in this passions hobbies list is I just want to learn more and just get a little bit more educated. We have so many awesome colleges all around me that do like continuing education classes and community classes, and I would love to just take some of those courses. There's one on like learning how to bake and decorate cakes, and there's one on, like Italian, if you want to learn how to speak Italian, or there's like cooking classes or outdoors classes. Like there's so many different fun things and so many things to learn in this world. So I would love to just explore that a little bit more, see if I can maybe take a class or 2 this year and just learn what the community has to offer me. I think that'd be really fun to do and see, and who knows what's going to happen with that, but I think that'd be a really fun activity for me to do this year. So wanted to go ahead and share that with you guys as well. Okay, so that's all of the goals that I have set that I'm going to share with you guys today, and I wanted to go ahead and just quickly give you guys a couple of tips of things that I do to keep my goals and try to maintain them throughout the entire year. And the very first tip I have is to get a planner or a notebook and write them down. So I have my notebook or my planner right here. This is my planner for this upcoming year, and then this is my planner from last year. And in the back of my planner, I had some pages where I wrote down all of my goals. So I was able to look at these very often and see them, and I just feel like writing them down makes them a little bit more like real and they're happening. And so this planner that I got this year has a front page that actually says 2023 goals and 2023 reflections. So I'm going to go ahead and write my goals down when I have time, but that's something that I want to do. And then what I like to do with my planner, or if you have like your phone calendar or your work calendar, I always set aside the first Monday of every month, and I set aside a chunk of time to review my goals. And so that's a really good way. You go back, you look at your goals, and you see, oh, I did, say that I wanted to sign up to learn how to scuba dive, and I haven't done that yet. Let's go ahead and look into that now. And so you can kind of pick a couple of goals each month that you're really going to start working on. But that is something that I do. I have it in my planner, but I also have it on my Outlook calendar for my job. So it comes up as a reminder every month. On the first Monday, it's just, 30 minutes is all it takes. It doesn't take very long, but that's what I did last year and the year before. And the year before, I hit every single one of my goals. Every single one. Last year, you guys, I mentioned a couple of goals that I was able to quite hit, but I did that. And then you're able to reflect every single month and say, okay, this is what I did. Or if you need to change your goals, that's the next tip. Don't be afraid of changing your goals or setting them, modifying them throughout the year if they're not as realistic as they are turning out to be, or as you hoped to be. So don't be afraid to change your goals, and always go ahead and reflect on them, and use a planner or something that is going to work for you, whether it be like a reminder on your phone or in your Outlook calendar or on a calendar on the wall, or even having like a buddy who you do this with, where every month you guys get together, go out to get hot chocolate or coffee or something, and sit down and go over your goals together. So that's something that's really important, I think, is just to check in consistently, so that way you remember them, and then that way you're also planning on them each month of what you're doing. Another tip I have is to put your goals in multiple places. So I not only have them in my planner, but I also have them on my phone and on my computer, and I also put them on my desk. Like I have a piece of paper that I wrote them all down on, and I put them on my desk next to my computer, and then I even have them in a few other places. So what that does for me is I'm able to constantly be seeing them and being reminded of those goals in lots of different avenues of my life. So you can do it, if you have like a health goal, put it in your gym bag, or put it on your phone, or in an app that you use on your Apple Watch, that way you can see it, or whatever. Find ways to integrate those goals into your everyday lives where you see them all the time, instead of just like writing it down in a notebook and leaving in the notebook and you never open it again. Put it in multiple places, so that way you can see it often. And one thing, I actually had a friend do this, which I thought was a little weird, but he actually printed off all of his goals on like a huge piece of paper and framed it and put it above his bed. So that's something that's, a little crazy, a little extra, I feel like, but if you really need that reminder, go ahead and do that if you need to. But yeah, just try to find ways and places to put your goals, so that way you're constantly reminded of them, and let them motivate you that way. All right, everyone, and that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this. I really enjoyed just sitting down and being able to chat about my goals and dreams and intentions for the new year. I would love to hear more about your goals, dreams, and intentions for this new year. So go ahead and drop those in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. And I just want to thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in my next one very soon. Bye.